Pat Wisner lining up to restart the second half. Anthony Farrell will be a lot happier after the second 20 minutes of that first half than he was after the first 20 minutes when Halifax gave over possession far too easily. And it took a Lee Doran Simbin to bring the best out of Halifax as they took advantage of that extra man to run in their 3 first half tries. Referee seen a forward pass, and it's not unusual that none of the Rochdale players have seen it. They seem to be shaking their heads in disbelief as Lee Doran points the finger in several directions. Rochdale now back to the full quarter of 13, but Halifax looking for the perfect start to this second half with Haley over the 20-metre line. Gibson out to Damien Ball, that familiar dummy in the drop of the shoulder from the loose forward, taking him to within 7 metres, and James Haley is turned round by Bowker. Ben Black to Morley. Black once again involved Wisner. David Larder running across Wisner there as Ben Black puts the kick up. There's pressure on. The ball comes loose and it depends on the chase. But Steve Ganson has seen that a Rochdale hand touched the ball first and knocked it forward, so Halifax will get another 6 tackles towards that line. And Anthony Farrell calling plays further out on this side of the field, so Halifax may be looking for an attack on this side, although there seems to be a long way away. Wisner's running the angles, brings Sharif on the inside, and Sharif loses possession, and Halifax begin the second half as they did the first, spilling possession in the opposition 20. Well, play call for by Anthony Farrell. Rochdale get the opportunity to bring it away from their own line, something which Halifax will try to restrict as John Hill takes it over the 20-metre line. Bowker, Varkulis was running on the inside. Bowker fancied the run on his own, only took him to the 30. Short ball. Halifax pinned for the offside once again by Steve Ganson. So now Rochdale looking for an upturn in fortunes as they attack the Halifax line with Durbin getting the ball away to Giles. Blackwood originally doing the spoiling. Larder completing the tackle. Doran driving the ball forward, and it took a combination of 4 men to put down the big second rower. And that one, well, that was a yard forward from up here. Long ball out wide, Bowker, and that's another forward pass. Ball gets out to Campbell. Bowker, no options this time as he's quickly closed down by the Halifax defence on the last tackle. Durbin will kick out towards this side. Alstead gets the ball, goes over the line, but was already in touch. Well, considering the keenness of eyesight on Steve Ganson spotting that forward pass to Blackwood in the first half. I would have expected him to pick either one of those two that have just taken place as Rochdale attacked, but not so. And Morley not allowed to make too many yards as the Rochdale defence moving quickly. Hobson will drive it over the 20. Blackwood will run from acting half, but lose his footing as Fisher goes from acting half, and there must have been an offside there. That's becoming a bit of a speciality from Fisher. He knows the ropes on that one, going away from acting half. And on the times when it doesn't draw a penalty, it usually gets him a 30 or 40 metre gain downfield. And the 30 or 40 metre gain has come from Pat Wisner's boot after Fisher had caught them offside. But once again it's a mistake as Andy Hobson knocks the ball forward in the Rochdale 20. And it really is deja vu for Halifax. And the coach Anthony Farrell, as he watches his team make yet another mistake and surrender possession early in the tackle count, as Sharif did on Halifax's last visit into the opposition 20. Gorski drives the ball away to good effect for Hornets this time. Chris Giles was almost out of the tackles. Adcroft, Spink hanging on. Radcliffe up to the 40. Good progress made by Rochdale as Varkoulis takes the inside ball from Bowker. Quick play this time, Bowker involved again. Long pass out to Durbin. Durbin, the run round with Farrell. And Sharif was almost caught there, but McCullough has still managed to make gains out of it as Durbin picks it up. And Blackwood and Fisher finally put an end to that little bit of a move by Rochdale. Last tackle, Durbin away to Bowker. Bowker off the outside of the foot. Adcroft on that far touchline, brings it inside and gives it to Gibson. Gibson stepping John Hill, the prop, on two occasions. Adcroft involved again as he goes from acting half. Sharif looking for work. Tried to extend his lead at the top of the try scoring charts. Looked to took a knee in the face there as Wisner drives it forward and disappears under four red shirts just over halfway. Larder to Hobson. Hobson with a handoff into fresh air there. Last tackle. Fisher over the top. Campbell is beaten by the bounce of the ball, and Halifax are up quickly. It helps their cause. Nervous moments there for the winger on that far side. Nervous moments now as Giles come back with the ball. Well, he's made excellent progress there as a full-back, considering the position that Rochdale were in when Campbell took the ball. Oh dear. Rochdale used the short side. That ball came out like a bullet to Doran, and Doran's outpaced the defence. Gibson waits, and the option for the inside pass was cut out by Sharif and Fisher, but Halifax still coming back, and the Hornets stack him in on that far side. Bowker's gone for the kick, depends on the bounce. Campbell's picked it up as he's dropped it. It looked like he might have dropped it from here.
Scoring for Rochdale, 5, Chris Campbell.
Well, it looks from up here as though there may be a drop ball. Steve Ganson giving Campbell the benefit of the doubt for his second try. And as it was in the first half, Hornets have opened the scoring in the second. Lee Doran really set them on the way with a break, shaking off the defenders, making 30 metres down this near side. Halifax was stretched, Rochdale knew that, and Bowker putting the kick in behind the defence despite the fact that they probably had a 3-1 overlap. And Campbell making the catch and going behind the line, although I think it's questionable as to how the ball was put down. Not bad for a man that 6 tackles previously was at the other end of the field, fielding an awkward bouncing ball and not looking entirely comfortable. Steve Ganson has called Richard Varcolis and Andy Hobson together for something that I think only he and his officials saw. So, handing out another sermon, Steve Ganson, to Varcolis and Hobson. Wisner drills the ball down to that Rochdale line, and John Hill, the man to pick it up, and he did well there because he got a couple of defenders run across him. So Rochdale back in the game, 19-12 to Halifax it is. And Halifax will have to step it up in defence. In the first half they were really restricting Rochdale's progress. I think they only got out of their own half once by the 5th tackle. John Hill is brought down last tackle, so the defence is good from Halifax on this occasion, and the kick from the 30-metre line sails straight into touch, much to the joy of the Halifax supporters. And Halifax will get the ball on the turnover, and they'll be looking to respect the possession this time as Spink takes the first drive in. Black to Damien Ball. Tries to go under tackles, and Ben Black has dropped the ball again for Halifax. Well, Ben Black is having an absolute nightmare in the opposition half of the field with the ball this afternoon. That's the 3rd or 4th stray pass from the scrum half. So it's gone to ground, and Giles shrugs away the first tackler, and Ben Black it is, the man that made the mistake, that makes the tackle on the fullback, Varcolis, who's put a few pounds on since his days at centre at Warrington. Initially came to Rochdale on loan. They took him on a long-term deal as Doran gets it away to McCulley, and McCulley gets it outside, but the tackle made by Fisher. Doran throws the long ball out wide. Hornets have men stacking up again. Haley moves out with a good tackle. There's still work to be done as Gorski comes up from acting half on the last tackle. Doran, ball squeezed away, it's on the floor. Bowker throws it anywhere, and that'll be a try out of nothing. And Bowker, and a couple before him, just threw the ball in the air hoping it'd go anywhere. And Halifax once again unable to respond when the ball comes out of the tackle. And McCulley is in for the try. And cuts the lead to Halifax 16. Halifax 19, Rochdale 16. Well, another mistake proves fatal. Rochdale getting the possession from the scrum off Ben Black's mistake. Taking the ball to the other end of the field. And Rochdale treating the ball like a hot potato, patting it up in the air, and eventually McCulley, grateful recipient, goes over unopposed, leaves himself a kick about 7 metres from the touchline. But this will bring the Hornets back to within 1 point. And he's got it just inside the right hand upright. And McCulley's conversion means that Rochdale, as they did in the first half, have 3 scores. Only this time it's 2 tries and a conversion, and it's put them back within 1 point of Halifax, who have just been penalised by the offside, for the offside by Steve Ganson. That's 5-3, the penalty count in Rochdale's favour. And will Halifax once again turn victory into defeat? 19 points to 8 they led. It's now 19-18, Rochdale possession. And Sharif manages to field it with the sun in his eyes, and looks for a good return, but makes 15 on a diagonal run. Morley shows the ball. Bloom back to the touchline. Scott Law, the last of the Halifax replacements. Anthony Blackwood off, Bloom on. Fisher goes underneath and just can't get back to his feet. There's a defender there to stop him. Wisner to Black. Black gets it to Spink. Ganson looks for assistance from his official for the forward pass and takes a long time to put his hand up for the last tackle. Ben Black off the side of the boot. Campbell caught and carried back over the line. Good pressure from Halifax, it needed to be. Campbell once again the target with a kick. An easier take than the last one, which bounced awkwardly in front of him, but when he took the ball, forced over the line for the Hornets dropout. And Halifax leave a massive space in the middle of the field. Morley uses the foot, but that's not going to give Halifax any advantage. And it's turned it into a good kick from McCulley from under the post, because Halifax are back at halfway as Adcroft tries to duck under defenders on the 40-metre line. Scott Law run round with Fisher, then gives it to Damien Ball. Ball stopped by 2. That must be a penalty. And is that 10 minutes in the sin bin? Well, it isn't, but decision here to be made, and the decision is we're in front of the post and we'll take the 2. Anthony Farrell once again down to the touchline, sending on the messages. As Pat Wisner looks to stretch the Halifax lead to 3, which he does. The most important thing for Halifax is they have as much possession as possible. Of course, if you're within range, always take the 2, but the possession that comes after the 2 is successful. It's more vital at this stage to Halifax, because Rochdale had been spurred on a little bit by those 2 tries. Wisner makes the call. Aslada running on, then decides to go himself and wrestles with Farrell till the reinforcements get there. Scott Law into 2, still pumping the legs. Good run from the replacement prop. Good yards made, Larder. Stopped by Price. Here goes Fisher from acting half again. Almost splitting the Hornets defence. Lauder moves into acting half. Black to James Haley. Wisner, last tackle. It's come off a Rochdale hand, but it went backward. Giles. He's brought down by opposite number Gibson. Farrell trying to take the ball away for Rochdale's cause, and they win themselves a penalty. So Rochdale given the easy way out of their own 20 by Steve Ganson with a penalty. Sam Butterworth launches into touch on that far side of the field. Replacement half-back. Bowker has to stretch for that one. And Price allowed to get up a little bit of steam there before the Halifax defenders moved in. Now they're moving up a little bit quicker to Rob Ball, who takes it over the 40. Farrell shows the ball. 3 men there in defence. Halifax need to be back on the feet quickly to recover. Doran is trying his hardest to get the ball out, but Halifax managed to clamp man and ball eventually and put him to ground. Butterworth moves it out. Bowker looking to take advantage on that far side again. Who's there first? Campbell for a hat-trick. Halifax napping again as Bowker kicks the ball through. Well, Campbell picks up the hat-trick. And that's the most vital try of the 3 so far, because it puts Rochdale back in the lead, 22 points to 21. Steve Ganson is speaking to Dave McConnell over something. But Halifax caught out again. And it's Bowker, the man that brought the Halifax Hearts at Scotland. Will he prove to do the same again? 2 off the side of the boot, allowing the winger Campbell in for his second and third tries. And Halifax with work to do in the last 15 minutes or so. It's all gone decidedly pear-shaped once again. They began the half by giving away too much possession early in the penalty count. And Rochdale making them pay, holding themselves up to the other end of the field. Once again, Halifax were caught on that far side as Bowker put the ball on the floor. And McCullough just wide of the uprights. A 1-point lead in Rochdale's favour. Halifax 21, Rochdale Hornets 22.
time. This would be a big achievement.
As McDonald sent back on for Halifax to replace Morley. And Rochdale looking to step up another gear now. Chris Giles steps 2. Well, I didn't see much of him in the first half, but certainly have in the second, and he always has a knack of beating the first defender. Varkulis over the 40, and Gorski over halfway, and Steve Ganson very liberal with a whistle again. As Bobby Goulding screams the instructions out to the field that they should go for the 2, and that would give the 3-point advantage to the Hornets if the kick's successful.
Got an extra 2 points on the board. Smart rugby coming into play again. No, as long as the ball was dead. Big chase for this as well.
So McCulley will try from 42 metres out. Well, there's a bit of a breeze up here, but there doesn't seem to be any movement on the flags at ground level as McCulley makes the mark from 42 metres out. And McCulley's second penalty means it's Halifax 21, Rochdale Hornets 24. And Jamie Bloom back on to take over the kicking responsibilities from the centre spot. Still time, but the bounce favours Rochdale again, and they're certainly running a little bit stronger now than they were in the earlier stages of this second half, and indeed these latter stages of the first half. Campbell looking to be involved in everything now. Pat Wisner riding his luck there, and claiming, I think, that somebody had a bit of a bite of his hand as Giles loses possession. So that will give the advantage back to Halifax at the scrum. But what they do with the ensuing 6 tackles is anybody's guess after the way that it's gone this afternoon. And Steve Ganson now speaking to his official, and showing somebody a bite mark. Pat Wisner. Well, Ganson saw the incident. He saw the man that got up. Well, they'll take a look at that because Pat Wisner's obviously got visible evidence of teeth marks, and they were there for Steve Ganson to see. And he chose, I think, Rob Ball as the offender. Pat Wisner complains as soon as he got up. Steve Ganson will have seen the man that was involved, the Rochdale man that was involved, and so it's gone on report for the Rugby League to have a look at as Wisner gets it away to Adcroft with a forward pass. Well, Halifax once again throw away possession. First tackle, Wisner on Campbell. Halstead inside looking for work. Halifax looking to move into Rochdale, but will it cost them as they move up quickly? Rochdale move the ball across the field. Well, a win for Rochdale today would move them within 1 point of Halifax as Bowker goes again. Still going, eventually MacDonald gets to him at the second attempt. Last tackle signalled by Steve Ganson. And once again, there's pressure on that side, but MacDonald is the man that picks the ball out of the air for Halifax. And suffers for his efforts. Looks like a back injury. Gibson trying to drop the shoulder. Halifax may have options if they can pull men out here, but they're relying on the forwards to drive the ball upfield. Scott Law, Adcroft, quick play from acting half, tackled by a man that was in an offside position from the play of the ball. Wisner looks for the 40-20 and it's nowhere near the mark as Chris Giles picks it out of there for Rochdale. Chasers are there, but Giles is allowed to get away. Ben Black will finally haul him to the ground. That's a scrappy play, but he never even made any attempt to play the ball, and Steve Ganson has given Rochdale another penalty. Well, if Halifax are to win this, they're to do it the hard way, because Steve Ganson has just improved the penalty count in Rochdale's favour, 8-4. Well, problems for Halifax. Mindful of the fact that it was Steve Ganson who refereed that first meeting at Scotland earlier in the season. And Rochdale being given all the opportunity they need by some referees' interpretations, I think it's called. Bowker out wide. Halifax stretched on that far side. Haley risking it by going a little bit high. Ganson signals a last tackle again. Bowker will kick again, and Scott Law will get it for Halifax. And there was shouts there for a knock-on as Ben Black looks to split the defence. Ben Black is off over halfway. Chasers after him. He'll go back in field. No, well, give it to Sharif. And Sharif is turned over and held down by the Rochdale defender. Well, there's got to be an offside there. Surely there's an offside. Ganson's seen it. And it's Dave Halstead that's causing the problem this time. Jamie Bloom very quickly across. Halifax need to go for the 4 because with time running out, the 2's no good, but can they keep the ball for 6 tackles? MacDonald looking for a repeat of that effort in the first half, which brought a try. With the Rochdale defence moving out quickly to him. Fisher out to Larder. Larder looks to turn it back inside. Then went on his own. Halifax started 5 metres away and are still 5 metres away. MacDonald comes off. Black turns it back to Damien Ball. Ball steps the defence. It came off a Rochdale and that'll be a knock on. Halifax will get 6 more tackles. Well, can they make it pay this time? That's the longest I think Halifax had carried the ball for 6 tackles in the opposition quarter throughout this game. Ben Black looked a bit shaky, then shrugs one off, and then he's caught by 2. Halifax still 5 metres away. Spink driving it up, trying to suck in the Rochdale defence. Wisner round the back to Gibson. Gibson to Bloom. And Bloom brought down 2 metres away. Gibson to Sharif. Sharif's got the ball down in the corner. Great vision by Gibson. Rochdale say he touched the flag. Touchdown took up the position in the corner. Ganson no option but to give the 4-pointer. And, well, Sharif normally goes from 60 or 70 metres. This one was more like 6 or 7 metres. But good play by Gibson, putting the winger in the corner. And Halifax back in the lead. Halifax 25. Rochdale Hornets 24. And Wisner will take as long as he can with his conversion attempt. I'm not sure Steve Ganson's actually stopped the clock yet. Steve Ganson quite happy for Pat Wisner to eat the time upon the clock. And I suspect Rochdale may try the short kick-off from the centre spot because they need the possession. There's about 3 or 4 minutes left. Wisner from the touchline. Well, he was kicking them for fun before in a warm-up. Still around 4.5 minutes on the official clock. Halifax 25, Rochdale Hornets 24. And if there was ever a game where you're playing the referee, I think this has got to be looked at it as one of those. Here we go with a short kick. Halifax struggled to deal with this at Batley last week. Haley knocks it on. Rochdale have possession. Halifax need to defend for all the worth as Varkulis 30 metres away. Cunliffe into 3. Rochdale going under the post. Bowker's on the left hand side once again, trying to split the defence, but Halifax move out. Butterworth to Doran, falls easily. Last tackle. There's nobody stopping back for the drop goal. And Wisner picks it out of the air, steps round 2 defenders, falls for the tackle. Halifax should be playing ball up the jumper stuff now. Bloom just easing the ball away. 3 defenders there. Sharif going around, trying to go around the outside. Bloom. Well, somebody was out of the blocks there and he caught Bloom, did Lee Doran eventually. Gibson reliable to make yards from acting half up towards halfway. Last tackle. Wisner will drill the ball down towards the fullback Giles. That's put the Halifax players on side, and there's plenty of chasing the fullback's collection of the kick on the 10. 2.5 nail-biting minutes as Halifax move in and fail to make the tackle as Gorski's allowed to get the ball away to Varkulis. And Varkulis was on a diagonal run that took him another 10 metres forward. Cunliffe caught 5 metres from halfway. Steve Ganson taking Halifax back about 12 metres there, I think. Butterworth running across the defence, looking to get the ball away. Fisher cuts that option out on halfway. Giles almost out of the tackle. Ganson with a hand in the air. Bowker, will he go for the kick onto the ball? Actually stops him. Bowker puts the kick up. Gibson under pressure. John Hill goes for the ball and knocks it on. Well, you wouldn't imagine a prop forward getting up that high, but a good pressure chase from the Rochdale prop, John Hill. Halifax to bring it away from their own 10. Gibson. Tackled by 2. Jason Bolts. Away from 2, almost away from 3. Fisher to Larder. Larder 2. Hardcroft loses it. Jason Bolts puts the ball down. Something going on the floor. It'll be a scrum down. Halifax won't form the scrum very quickly. Rochdale already packed down and ready. And now stop the clock. Clock back on. Butterworth made the break. Has support from Giles. Chance here, and Campbell is going to get his 4th try. Is it? Rochdale are going to steal it at the death with Dave Olstead's try. Well, all Halifax had to do was play out the tackles. Jason Bolts made the mistake, and Rochdale seal it at the death. That'll be the last play of the game. So McCulley, it's a mere formality as a kick, whether it goes over or not. Rochdale have stolen the 2 points against Halifax, and again they've done it in the very last minute. Lightning striking twice. Halifax will maintain the 4th place for now. McCulley has put the conversion over. That's the end of the game. And Halifax have made the vital mistake at the vital time. Jason Bolts dropping the ball. And after having the game seemingly well in control at 19 points to 8 after 20 minutes of that first half, Halifax has only points in the second half, coming with a penalty from Wisner and a try from Sharif that looked as though it may have won the match for Halifax. Campbell with his 2nd and 3rd try. McCulley tries and conversions, a penalty, 25-24, and all Halifax had to do was hang on to the ball. One mistake too many from Jason Bolts, and Rochdale with the last play of the match kept the ball alive. All set in for the try. McCulley with a conversion. It's Halifax 25, Rochdale Hornets 30.